as you guys know, I've been working on this helmet. And so now the helmet is ready to be mailed out. And it's complete as far as it's going to go from my point of view. Now, hopefully the person who gets it does a little more work. So let me go ahead and break it down and explain what the different levels of getting the helmets are. So, the sound check hasn't started yet. Come on, sound check. Not sure why the video is not working. There we go. Sound check. There we go. Sound check. Okay. So, the way this... Oh, hey you guys. Thanks for joining me. So, the way this helmet goes is this is one of the ones I'm selling right here, and this is known as the base coat one. Basically, I've put the resin on it and then painted it to match the saddle, and you can see I left the inside bare on all the contact points on the face. That way then it won't cause paint wear. You'd still be careful when you put it on and not scrape it on there. And it does fit kind of tight. If you were to bump it though, it will fall off. So it can come off, but you jam it on there and it stays on pretty good. But it doesn't take much effort to pull it off either. So let's break this down really quick. So the way I'm selling these is I'm selling them either as raw, and raw is like this right here, where they come right off the printer. The colors can be different. It's funny. This one looks more shimmery and shiny, and this one looks more dull, but they're both called gray, which is really odd. I thought I might have put the silver in there on accident, but they're actually both the same shade of gray. So you can see there's some rough edges around that need to be sanded, and it needs to be sanded around here. And after it's sanded, then of course you'd put on all your top coats and some kind of coating on it. So this is the raw version, raw. So when you contact me on Facebook and I say this is the price of the raw one, this is what I'm talking about. One that requires sanding and cleanup before you start painting it. And the way you'll sand it is obviously around all these edges here. The surface here where all these lines are. You can see those lines in there or not. Yeah, you can kind of see it in the camera, I guess. And then also the nose right in the middle where the nose goes in, you'll do a little sand spot inside there as well. So that's known as raw. And then the base coat ones are these right here, where I take and coat it with resin, like we saw in the video earlier. And then I put the base coat paint on that matches the saddle. And then when you get it, you paint the eyes and all the details you want the way you want it. Or if you want one fully painted, they'll still be on eBay. So the ones out where I fully paint them, they're kind of a pain to paint, so that's why those will go on eBay for auction. But the easy base coat or the raw ones are the ones I'm selling just outright on my Facebook page. To find me on Facebook, go to he-bro.com. I got a few of these ready to go now. Only one of them's ready painted like this because somebody's going to pay tomorrow. You know, they already ordered it. But I got lots of the raw ones still. And if you want one that's not raw, base coat, let me know. And of course, I'll give you the prices right off the bat before you make your decision. And then I'll resin coat it and then paint it. And you'll get it just like that. And again, sorry, if you want one fully painted, it will be on eBay because each one comes out just a little bit different. And so I want you guys to be aware of what you're getting before you purchase it. All right. Those nails in that battle cat sure look good for a back itch. Yes, those would be great to scratch your back. Hey, Mr. Lopez, thanks for joining us. Hey, what's up, Hebro? Hey, not too much. Thanks for asking. If I knew how to paint, I'd probably attempt making a Revelation Battle Cat darker green like the classics and Origins colors. Yep, that is kind of cool. I'm thinking about putting a green wash on mine when I go to turn them into a Battle Lion. I went and I got another one. Where did I set it? I don't know where I put it. It must be in the other room. And I got them so that I can use... Where? That's crazy. I don't know where I put them at. I got him so I could use him as my battle lion, because I want to redo battle lion in this size, and then the other one just to have a helmeted battle cat. Since I spent so much time on the helmet, I might as well make one for myself too, right? All right. So some other cool stuff going on is somebody told me that if I use battle armor Skeletor's boots, they match pretty close. So I did swap them out so you guys could see. They are a little different. These are more blue and these are more purple, but they are a whole lot closer. So then I gave back the boots to Scareglow. So Scareglow now has his own boots back. There we go. And I forget who told me about that. I think it might have been Pop Actor. I'm not sure. But there we go. So, hooray. Thank you for that tip. That looks way better than the other ones. And I also went ahead and put a lighter blue wash on my Kronos. So his face matches closer to the skin of his body. So there we go. I'm planning on making a weapon for him too, so it matches the weapon that he used in 2000X. So pretty soon he'll have that as well. So my Kronos is now way better looking. Did I already lose the original head he came with? There it is. It's way over here. Look at the difference. Bah! Crazy, crazy. So I'm pretty happy now with my Kronos. He looks way better. So, all right. That is just about all that I have. So I did decide to change her storyline a little bit. Actually, she's the right size for Origins. Look at that. I did not realize that. But anyway, she's going to be used as classics because she's Rio Blast's wife. But I thought the origin story for her should be that when she gets shot by Overkill, which we've already talked about this a little bit, that she ends up turning into the Gray Hulk and loses her memory completely, forgetting that she's even married to Rio Blast. The Blast ends up turning her into the Hulk almost permanently. Rio Blast later on meets the Hulk, the She-Hulk, not realizing that it's his wife, and finds out later on in the storyline. So later on, after he's Marshal Rio Blast, then he ends up meeting the She-Hulk sometime, and then later on he finds out that it's his Jennifer that he thought he lost and thought that she was killed by Overkill. So he's fueled by the thought that she was killed, but really she was not killed. She was just turned into the Hulk and left some shredded clothes behind that he thought was leftover parts of his beloved Jennifer being blasted. Because her cousin is David Bruce Banner, and who is the Hulk. All right, cool. And then of course she works in the lab. The story's going on, and basically she's using the same plant material that we saw with what's that guy's name? Swamp Thing? No, not Swamp Thing. The other one. What's the DC version? Is it Swamp Thing? Yeah, it is. And that can't be right. It is late. Hey, Sledge Master, thanks for joining us. What is the name of the swamp creature from DC? Is it Swamp Thing? Anyway, that same plant material ended up on Marlena's rocket, and went to test some plant subjects out in space to see if they would grow. And now she's been using them with Rio, her husband, to cultivate the fields on Eternia. And that's why this guy, Overkill, broke in, was to steal the secret formula for growing or turning the plants into animal type, plant type, survivalist things. And during his attempt to thieve the secret formula, which is in this book right here, he had to take out Jennifer Walters, which turned her into the Gray Hulk. Bum, 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 where she lost her memory. Oh, I lost my memory. And forgot that she was married to Rio Blast. Rio Blast saw the ripped clothes on the floor, thought he killed her, and decided to seek revenge and became Rio Blast Marshall we know after he was mortally wounded by Overkill and got cybernetics put in to match his gun in his chest because he wanted to have the same weaponry for when someday when he caught up to Overkill he could have a fighting chance since his chest was blasted open anyway. I don't know if you guys seen this. Most of you guys probably have. Yep, Swamp Thing is correct. Thank you. It's been a really long day. I got demonetized again today, and it's like, come on, YouTube, really? Again? So as of today, right now, I'm demonetized. Anyway, so there's his chest that opens up, and there's his gun. So cool. All right. Hey, what's up? I was in Target, and now they have so many Rise of Evils and Prince Adams and Sky Sleds warming the racks. Toys of a time gone by. That's good to know. Yep, Swamp Thing was DC. Man Thing was Marvel. Yep, Swamp Thing is what I was looking for. Nice. What is going on with YouTube? I do not know. It is getting really frustrating. They even have a thing so you could send in a video to, appeal it. And so I went to send in a video. I went and made the video today. And when I went to submit it, they already had my date passed. They went by my last date of when I was rejected. So I'm guessing that hopefully tonight at midnight it will be updated. The right date. Rio Blast is missing one of his guns. No. You know what? I might have only put one gun in his hand. You know what I did? I only put one gun in his hand. It's not missing it. That's what when I had him riding his horse earlier. Anyway, I got to clean up this mess. I got stuff everywhere. All right, let's take a look at your guys' comments. Oh, wait, I remember that guy. But not that version. I don't know his story. How much, Don? Oh, you're asking how much the figures were. Sky Sled Target's on clearance now. Yep. I went and got some. I could not resist. Even though I sold my Sky Sled, they're on clearance. I ended up getting some because I like his head better than the one that came with He-Man. So I'm going to swap his head out. It's just a better looking head. And so that's why I decided to get him, is just for the head swap. And he's got the closed hand. I don't know how close the skin color is. I'm guessing it doesn't match very close. And there's so many uses for his vest. So I don't know if I want to keep the Sky Sleds or not. I'm only debating. I sold my Sky Sled last time and just kept Prince Adam. So I don't know. We'll see. It might be fun to have some more Sky Sleds, or at least something that my grandson can play with when he comes over to visit. So if you want, you can look up my Ultimate Rio Blast video, and it talks all about this guy. Now, obviously, this is not Rio Blast's weapon on the back. This actually belongs to, what is his name? Brave Star. And I stole Brave Star's weapons because I have Brave Star's fort, because I decided to give it all to Rio Blast. And here's what Rio Blast really looks like. Bump, bump, bump. But I wanted to make a pre-Rio Blast, and this is the pre-Rio Blast before he becomes Rio Blast. And I gave him guns that are like Brave Stars that I made on in my Shapeways store, and gave him a different hat that I also made in my Shapeways store. So that is the storyline of my crazy Rio Blast. Ugh. And then I had to make a bad guy for him, and that's what Overkill is. And I figured that Blast Attack would also be part of the bad guys, because he just looks like he's from the Wild Wild West TV show, because he's got steampunk and dynamite, so you can see him blowing the safe up. And then, of course, I gave him a friend. Here's his partner in, I was going to say partner in crime, but I guess partner in heroism. And basically I used Apache Chief's head and Apache Chief's handkerchief. And then this piece is from Prince Adam. This is a Filmation He-Man's body, and then this is from I don't know who. Oh, I know who it's from. This is from Moss Man, and so is the baggie from Moss Man too. So there is all the pieces to make this. And then these were the brown axes we got, and I just took and cleaned them with alcohol and cleaned off all the brown. So you can see just like some brown residue left over. So that is how I made him. And even though it is Apache Chief, and for a while I was using him as Apache Chief, but I sold the giant Apache Chief, so now he can't grow anymore. I decided just to have him be Tonto, being I like the Lone Ranger, and it's kind of a Lone Ranger aspect. I was going to make him Apache Chief, but since I don't have a way to make him grow anymore, I'm not going to buy another giant Apache Chief. He is now Tonto. There you go, Tonto. I don't know. I might keep him Apache Chief. I haven't decided. Maybe you need a whole new name. Yep. I don't know. I was tempted to make this guy split in half too. You can see he's got a seam right here, so you can cut the armor right there, which would be easy to do. But then you have the torso to worry about and trying to break that in half. So I actually bought a whole bunch of these guys in hopes of making one that could split in two by making two halves. That would be at the right spot, right where the armor is, and glue the armor on so that it wouldn't, so it'd actually be in the right spot. So that was part of my plans, was trying to make one explode myself or look like he exploded. The original toy, the bottom piece was one piece, and you can see the line continues on right there. And so I'd probably have to glue all this articulation right here together. Maybe make a whole new torso and just put the pieces on it. That might actually be even easier, is just use the armor but make a whole new torso piece, and then just use the arms and legs and head for that new torso. But you know what? That might be the way to go. I might actually do that. So there you go. All right, let's see. And you know, oh, I know what I could use. I could use magnets. That would be cool. Use those earth magnets so I could rip it apart as opposed to exploding apart. That could be really cool. Let's see. I believe they're releasing the vintage head He-Man with a full sword instead of the half sometime this month. Yeah, I heard they're releasing that too. Can you separate the classics figures at the waist joint and reassemble them? No, you cannot. There is two that you can do it to, and that is King Hiss does that, and so does the guy that has all the armor and he stretches and gets taller. I forget what his name is now, but he's some kind of Centurion looking guy, and they made it so his waist separates too, just so you can put pieces in between to make him taller. I'm sure someone here is going to say what his name is. Hebrew, the spaceman figure from the castle. I guess it's out of the question getting it. You know, I wouldn't say that for sure. Extendar, thank you so much. I wouldn't say that for sure. I bet you they're going to re-release that special PowerCon castle set. They're going to have to, because there's a spot in the castle just for the dungeon piece. And so I'm sure they're going to re-release that stuff. Yep, it's sold out now, but they're going to release a whole new set. It might be a different color. It might be something else a little different about it. It might have more parts or less parts, but they are going to release it again, you know. And if not, there'll be a bunch of us customizers out there making it. So what's cool about this guy is I use Prince Adam's gun right here, and I use some heat shrink tubing just so it would fit in Robato's hand just right, so he can pull the gun out and use it, or the gun in his stomach, or the gun on his hand. And then I also made some more weapons for him. There they are. That are replaceable too. And these are just from the weapons pack, and these used to be blue. I just painted over the blue with red. And it does look pretty cool. Fun stuff. Hey Jeff, thanks for making it. I appreciate it. Yep, I'm on here late. I actually have tomorrow off. My granddaughter's coming to visit, and so I took off tomorrow and the next day, so I can just hang out with her. So today is my Friday, so that's why I'm up late. And it's been a rough day today. Holy cow! And then to add insult to injury, like I mentioned before, I even got demonetized again, and that was like the last straw for me. So I have been binging on candy. But tomorrow I'll be back to it, back to my exercises and stopping with the candy. I'll also have lots of extra calories to burn. I did finish his head, the helmet, so hopefully that guy pays tomorrow and he'll get it. And that'll be cool. And that's about it. Where is... Here he is. I'm going to pull off his armor so I can show you guys. I know I've already done a whole video on him, but for those that did not see it, I don't know, Brave Star is not always the best thing to watch when people are He-Man fans. Ugh. So, this was my other Rio Blast custom I made. And the problem with this Rio Blast is when you pull off his chest gun and you go to close his chest, it doesn't close all the way. It just sticks out a little bit. You can see it right there, how it just doesn't close quite all the way. And so to get it to close all the way, I went and cut a hole right here in the middle of his chest and added some metallic tape on his chest. You can see it right there. So that way then that little keyhole then fits right in there so it can close all the way. Now I've been tempted to glue this, but I like the fact that I could still open it and put a gun there if I want to for playability. Now on his leg chaps, same type of deal is when you take the guns out, actually I glued those ones on because I got tired of them falling off all the time. When you close them, the legs don't close all the way because it has a little stump right here. So I actually sanded the stumps off on these ones so it can close all the way. So there you go. And on the one that's the pre, I actually glued him on there because technically he's the pre guy, so he doesn't have any guns on his body yet. He's not bionic, so that's why I actually glued his chaps. That really glues my chaps. All right. Anyway, you guys, thank you for joining me. It's been a rough day, so it's good to have people like you guys coming and saying good things to me. I appreciate it. You paint the helmet's eyes. I think your custom helmet looks cool, although I like the reservation helmet too. So that's an excellent question, and I kind of covered it earlier, but you probably might not have been here. Is I'm selling it in 3 different levels. And one level is called Raw, and that's this level right here. It comes right out of the printer. You're stuck sanding it yourself, painting it yourself, everything. It's the cheapest version to buy. The second level up is base paint only, just like this. And you're stuck having to go paint all the details, the eyes, the pieces here, the horn, whatever you want to paint. So you just get it, just the raw version, just like this, and the inside's not painted. Just, you know, so that way all the touch points don't have any paint to rub off. And it's also resin coated before I painted it too. And then the final version is the one where I paint the eyes and the other parts and details, and those ones are going to just be on eBay for auctions. So those are the 3 levels, because people keep asking me, I just want to get a helmet, I don't want to fight eBay, and I totally get that. So if you do get a helmet from me, direct by going to my Facebook page, you'll be stuck having to paint the eyes yourself and maybe these parts as well if you want those painted. So good question. And to find me, go to he-bro.com. he-bro.com. I do not have the Eternia playset. That would be cool to have. But nope, I do not. So no need to be jealous. And instead I have the Brave Star set, which I just got recently. But I know it'd be cool to have an Eternia set, but it's not going to happen probably unless one of my kids win the lottery and buy it for me for a present. Can you bring out your most rarest and most pricey item? And how do you afford all these classics and customs? They are pricey these days. So most of my classics I bought before they were pricey. I got them when they were on a Matty Collector. And what I would do is I would buy 3 of each character. And after I bought 3 of each character, I would sell 2 and keep 1. And the profit I made from those 2 would pay for my 1. And then also I would save on shipping that way. Now once in a while I'd buy more than my 3. Like I really wanted to do a bunch. And then they had those Monday sales they had, like a Cyber Monday, and every hour they'd have figures on sale. And you can get figures really cheap. In fact, they actually had Castle Grayskull for only $100 on one of the Mondays. And I saw it for that price, and I already had one, and I've been kicking myself ever since I didn't buy the other one for $100. So I didn't spend a fortune on my figures. My most expensive item I've ever purchased, well, was Snake Mountain, of course, like everybody else. But secondhand thing was actually this fort right here. This fort, holy cow, I blew way too much money on it. And luckily at the time my YouTube channel was going. I make about $10 a day on my YouTube channel. So that, $10 a day adds up. That's $300 a month, which is really cool. And I ended up spending $500 on this Brave Star set. So that is the most expensive thing I've bought besides Snake Mountain, was this Brave Star set. And it was supposed to be mint in the box when I got it, but as you guys saw in the video, it was not. So there you go. You're looking at my most expensive piece right there, the Brave Star set. So see, I wish I cared more about classics back then. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, for me it was the toy line of toy lines. It is so cool. Yep. Even Battle Lion, I got him pretty cheap too on a. In fact, it was funny. I actually even got some figures for $10 a piece. They had them at a place called Glit online, and I bought like 8 King Grayskulls for $10 a piece. And then I also went to that Big Lots. I was able to score some figures there for $10 a piece too. So was always looking for deals. Oh, and this faker right here is a Chinese knockoff that I just recently got. And I had the link just recently in my on one of my eBay posts. You can tell it's a Chinese knockoff because the face just looks weird. But I'm going to end up using that faker head. I don't know where I stuck it now, but I had a blue faker head somewhere around here that I was going to use, the one that's the battle damage one from the New Adventure Skeletor. And even New Adventure Skeletor just recently on a Big Bad Toy Store wasn't that much money. So I kept buying a bunch of those for spare parts and customs. So I've not spent a fortune on these, even though they cost a fortune now. Yes, the receding hairline. That's a pretty dead giveaway. Another way to tell too, which I know sounds kind of funny, is take a black light and shine it on it, and the plastic's actually different. But even the face just looks kind of weird right around the cheeks and stuff in the face. Just kind of a strange appearance. And it bums me out because the knockoffs in the past had really good boots. And so even though I'd get a knockoff He-Man, the boots were really good. Well, this time they gave us the same cruddy thing that Mattel has with the loose ankles. And it's like, man, the one thing they did good on the knockoffs were the boots. And now they've copied Mattel better with bad boots. But anyway, he will soon become one with a Terminator figure that I have up on the shelf to make a cool half Terminator, half Faker figure. Yeah. Yeah, like this guy had tons of toys, toys of a time gone by, said he bought Intergalactic Skeletor, a Big Bad Toy Store for $26. That's what I mean. If you look around, you can find things really cheap still. It's crazy. And now other times you want to find like a He-Man figure, no, it's going to cost you a fortune. But luckily I bought, He-Man figures when they were cheaper still. So, and even this guy, you can still find pretty cheap. You can usually get them for less than 40 bucks, which I know is not super cheap, but it's not overly expensive either for what you get. And like I said, he's got lots of customizability. Even um even when I use this guy's parts, now granted the head, I actually bought the Chinese knockoff or the Chinese version of oh, how could I forget his name? Oh well. Can't remember his name off the top of my head right now. Sorry, you guys. Like I said, it's been a long day. Come on, it's the bounty hunter from DC Comics, Superman's big bad guy. Anyway, but the body of this was Hordak, and it was the Spin Blade Hordak. No, Buzzsaw Hordak, and they're still pretty cheap. They're not a fortune for Buzzsaw Hordak right now on eBay. Yes, Rio Blast had some really cool gimmicks. I don't know why they did not make his chest go in. I mean, they could have made a chest that was just like Buzzsaw Hordak. I mean, they obviously had the technology to do it because they did it. They did it for Buzzsaw Hordak. In fact, I actually bought some extra Buzzsaw Hordaks at the time just so I could make a Rio Blast out of him. But his body shape was too different, and to try to make it work, it would have been a real pain. So I ended up giving up. It just didn't line up the door with the opening here, and so it would have been kind of a miss to make it work right. But that would have been really cool if Mattel would have done it in the past. Yes, I've been burned by eBay many times. In fact, like I mentioned, when I got this fort, it was kind of a burn because I way overpaid for it. The stickers were all wet and destroyed, and the cardboard had bugs in it, and it was just. And the guy said it was new and mint and beautiful, and when I got it, it was far from being new, mint, and beautiful. So, yeah. Yeah, I way overpaid for that fort. Even though the fort's cool, and I'm glad I got it. You know, I had fun making the video. Yes, eBay shipping can be too expensive. Yep. In fact, I just recently got a Tuskador on Big Bad Toy Store. I was planning on making a Ram Man out of him, but it just was too much of an effort to pull his armor off, so I kind of gave up. But yep. So using the figures for custom pieces is a great way to go. And again, you know, he's pretty cheap on Big Bad Toy Store. They also got this guy in California that sells like scratch and dent classic figures, and like he had Bo really cheap, so I bought an extra Bo a few months ago, and some other figures. Once in a great while, I'll spend full price on a figure, but it's pretty rare. All right, this is one of my errors, my mess ups. I tried a different kind of paint, and you can see how far off it is from the color. It's pretty far off, and it stinks. I spent a lot of time doing the resin on this one. I used black resin on it, but it just feels weird. It didn't come out very good at all, so this is my failure. This one's not going to go for sale anywhere because I don't want someone to get it, and this paint's just going to scratch off really easy. And it was actually a cloth paint for outdoor furniture, and I had to put it on so thick to get it to work. Yeah, it's not going to work on that one. So yes, I have lots of failure pieces. In fact, this is one of my first failure pieces. You can see here where it has a hole in the side of his head because it was too thin. And you can see when I put it in low res how bad it looks. But once you coat it with resin, it comes out pretty good. I mean, look at the difference between the style of finishes on there. You can just see how this one's much more smoother, higher res. All right. Well, you guys, it's been fun. Thanks again. I do feel a little better. So Like, subscribe, tell your friends. If you're a Christian, pray that they'll figure out a way to get my monetization back up and going quick. That'd be great, so I can keep going on and fund my toy collection here so I can make these cool videos for you guys. And that's pretty much about it. All right. Thanks, Peo. Good night to you as well. Yes, I also have lots of pre-order figures for Big Bad Toy Stores. Yep, it's hard, it's a long wait, but it's nice when they end up showing up. All right, good night, Don. Good night, Quinn. Good night, Eric Kent. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye now.